Hey everyone, it's John again, here to play some Immaculate Grid. Going for both the time version and the rarity score. I did yesterday's game. I was able to get the rarity score. Or excuse me, not get the rarity score. I got the time version under a minute, pretty good. And then I'm going for rarity score, and I took some shots at players I thought had only played for one team. That's the category I got to study up on because I was 0 for 3 on my guesses of players who had only played for one team. Rarer players, I didn't want to take obvious ones, but um in any event, let's get into it. Let's play today. I'm gonna start sharing my screen, and I have to share the whole screen. So there we go. And hitting refresh and play, and away we go. All right, so we're just going now. Otis Nixon is going to be my pick there. Jose Cruz Jr., Jack Morris, uh, Ken Caminiti played for both these teams. 100 RBI. How about Juan Gonzalez? There he is. Griffey. Oh, Morneau that 1 year that he won MVP. And then let's see, San Diego. Kevin Mitchell works. That's going to be so rare. And under a minute, Jeff Cirillo. I was right at a minute. I'll take a minute. 93 rarity score with a lot of that coming over here with the 100 RBI seasons. I think I did a little too well on the rarity scores for everyone except Morris. Morris takes 10%. Nixon, man, he's a go-to for a lot of the time. Cruz at 1%. I'm gonna have to think about that one. Who I want to take there? Huh. All right. So this will be interesting. Um, San Diego and Texas. All right. Well, pretty good start. Right at a minute, I think. Um, so I'll take that. Let's see what we can do here. I'm gonna stop that. Do the stop and share. That's the one. And I'm in incognito mode. This was the one I was successful at yesterday, so I guess I'm mixing it up a little bit. And let's go for some rarity scores. So Frank Howard is usually pretty good over here. Like for All-Star, because he played for the Washington Senators. Um, Jeff Burrows won an MVP, driving in 100 runs. So he'd be an interesting pick. I think Al Oliver works for the Rangers. Um, I'm deliberately picking people that are a little bit older. Let's try out Al Oliver. Pretty confident on this one. So he goes less than 1%. Let's see, Mariners. I know Kyle Seager had exactly 100 RBI in 2021, his final season. Not sure how many people are going to remember that. Um, Nelson Cruz is another big obvious one. Griffey, I think, was going to be the highest point getter. Rodriguez also works. Buhner works, and Martinez works. Alvin Davis, he was referred to as Mr. Mariner, so not sure on that one. Oh, let's see. Who else? Brett Boone, 141 RBI in the 2001 season. That was a big year. Pretty sure Olerud's going to work, and I'm pretty sure Mike Cameron is going to work. Ooh, and Raul Bianas will work. So of those last three, I think, are very strong. Let's try Bianas. Does it 1%? And 100 RBI season for the Twins. Remember that goes all the way back to the Senators. Some interesting ones you could go with. Paul Molitor and Rod Carew are not big power hitters, but both drove in over 100 runs with a very low number of home runs. In Molitor's case, it was 9 in the 1996 season. Check that season out. He hit 341, I think, with 9 home runs and 113 RBI or something. I think that's about right, though. And Rod Carew had in his 1977 Yeah, AL MVP, or he had 388, because 78 is right. So yeah, 77 is definitely Carew. 13 home runs, and I believe exactly 100 RBI in that MVP season that he hit 388. But I think we want to just go way back here. Let's go with Mr. Goose Goslin. He goes 1.0%, as opposed to Raul Bianas, who just went at 1%, which means that Bianas is probably more like 1.4, but that's all right. I think I used the guy I would have used for rarity score here, Otis Nixon, so I got to think about that one. Um, and then let's see, and I used Kevin Mitchell as well. That's a pretty good go-to, as well as Jeff Cirillo, I think I used down here. Um, let's see. Blue Jays and Twins. There are a few good ones. I'm trying to think if I ever came up with anyone better than Shannon Stewart. Because Molitor works and Dave Winfield works, and of course Jack Morris works. Those were the ones that um those are all Hall of Famers, great players. Um, but I'm not sure how Shannon Stewart is going to go. He was traded in the middle of the '03 season and got MVP votes. He finished, I believe, fourth in the MVP voting that year. Um, maybe I come back to that one. Down here, I'm pretty sure Mike Timlin will work. I believe he was in that Jose Cruz trade. So he goes sub 1%. I think he's featured there with Boston. I think he might have been on that '04 team. I know he was on the bullpen by committee. That was the year before, where they just didn't have a top-notch player in the bullpen, and that's where that's the first I recall the term bullpen by committee being used. And it was taken to be this big thing that it's like, they showed it didn't work. They had to go get Keith Folk. But I mean, it's a perfectly fine idea if the players are successful. So that's my little rant on that. Nelson Cruz will work for all three of these. Um, and yeah, Texas and Toronto. Let's see here. Texas and Toronto. Ooh, Adrian Gonzalez works over here. That's too recent. I know he only played for the Rangers at the very start of his career, but I think that's going to be too recent. But I think I can go with, well, I can go with him too here. The guy I'm thinking of is Rich Gossage. Caminiti, I just kind of remembered he showed up in Texas one year, and it was just different. Um, where do I place Gossage? Because I think I should play him. Just not sure where. So I'll go with him here. Now because now I'm trying to think. I don't want to go Nelson Cruz. If I want to avoid Nelson Cruz because he's going to be way too popular, I think I have to go down here. And yeah, I'll go with Gossage. Takes 2%. Okay. Still haven't come up with anyone better than Shan Stewart. Um, did Orlando Hudson end up in Minnesota at any point? I don't actually remember. I'm trying to come up with some other people that work for this one. Otis Nixon was my go-to there. Um, was Doyle Alexander work for either of these? I don't actually remember him playing for either of these two teams. I don't remember Doyle Alexander at all because he was like I was like 2 when he retired. Um, yeah, this is weirdly tough. Because I've already used some of the ones I would have used. So I find myself in a a little bit of a predicament here. Um, Nelson Cruz just seems like he's going to be way too popular here, especially since I can't come up with really anyone else other than Gossage off the top of my head. Blue Jays and Twins. Let's see let's see how many people remember that season by Chance Stewart. 4%. Okay. Let's see. I don't think I can get. I've been trying to work in Paul Quantrill, but I don't think he played for Texas. Jim Sundberg ever make his way to Toronto? Not remembering that either. Millwood, Wolf. Hmm, let's see. But did Gary Matthews Jr. ever play for the Padres? This- Yeah, I might be just trying to finesse this a little too hard. I know I've tried Jose Batista. It turns out he didn't play for the Rangers. He just got punched out by a Ranger. Um, who did the Blue Jays traded Mike Napoli to the Rangers, but he never played for the Blue Jays. He was traded from the Angels for Vernon Wells and then immediately flipped. And I'm trying to remember who they got in exchange for him, but I think it might have just been minor leaguers. Um, so I'm sitting here. I'm usually really good with the teams, but in some cases I think I've used the person I would go with, and in other cases I think I just didn't know someone. So finding some glaring holes here. So I can definitely go with Adrian Gonzalez here. Let's see how many people remember he was a Ranger. 4%. Okay, not bad. And then down here, I'm not coming up with anyone but the guy I went with, which was Cirillo, one of my all-time favorite players growing up. And then Nelson Cruz, maybe? Um, I'm not maybe. He definitely played there. I just think the rarity score is going to be trash. And then up here, who are some guys that made their way out west? I don't get to use Julio Franco. Um, see, I don't get to use Dean Palmer, Michael Young, Rusty Greer played for the Rangers his whole career. Tom Goodwin, maybe? I don't remember him with Toronto, but it's possible. Um, definitely not Juan Gone. And down here, let's see if I'm just imagining. Did Orlando Hudson ever make his way to Minnesota? That's the question. He did. All right. I wasn't just making that up. All right. And it goes less than 1%. So that's someone to save for later. And then I am just battling here to come up with anybody other than the person I've already come up with, which was Otis Nixon, who's played in both Texas and Toronto. There's got to be people. There's got to be probably scores of people, hundreds even of people who've played for both teams. Um, I don't remember like a Darren Fletcher appearance in Texas. Tony Batista, maybe. Teixeira never played in Toronto. I'm just listing people who don't work. I wonder if Eric Hinsky ever made his way to the Rangers. That'd be an interesting one. Darren Oliver, you ever play in Toronto? Piece of me is thinking he might have. I don't think Edwin Encarnacion was ever a Ranger. It's amazing. These teams have to have some overlap. Um, Charlie O'Brien, catcher. I know he played for the Brewers. I think he played for the Braves as well. Why is this one giving me some trouble? All right. Well, it's not going to make for good content if I'm just over here guessing players who don't work. So, let's see. I'm going to go with Charlie O'Brien. Let's see. Let's find out. He did not. Nope. There were 109 people I could have gone with, including Marcus Simeon, who I didn't even mention. Just set the all-time record. So yeah, Tom Henke works. Doyle Alexander does work. Did not know Dave Stewart played for the Rangers. Canseco would have worked. I totally forgot on that. I did not know Rico Cardi played for either team. Henke, I did know. I should have been able to come up with that though. Ooh, Darren Oliver would have worked. I should have gone with Darren Oliver. Apparently, Ruben Sierra, who I've used several times, played a little bit in 1997 with the Blue Jays. Justin Smoke, I knew. I did not know Matt Stairs made his way to the Rangers. Look at this. And Greg Zahn, I've been meaning to work in here, but I just need to learn his career better. Vizquel, even. Yorvit Torrealba. So many mediocre catchers, and I picked a mediocre catcher that didn't work. Look, you had Molina in there, you had Greg Zahn, you had Yorvit Torrealba, you have a million ads here that I can't close out of. Ah, well, sorry to let you down on the rarity score, but at least I had a pretty good time to run. So with that being said, I will get this uploaded. And once again, episode's brought to you by my book, Baseball's Most Fun Frivolities. Link will be in the description below. Thanks a lot for playing, and we'll be back at tomorrow. Peace.